We're now entering another week of a government shutdown. And while the politics might feel like DC theater, the real world consequences are already affecting individuals and rippling through the economy. So joining us is Alan Franks, certified financial planner and author of Empowered Money. Alan, it's so great to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's get local politics aside. How is this affecting the ordinary person here?
Yeah, Faith, imagine if you suddenly lost your paycheck and with a little warning and no idea when or if it's going to come back. That's what federal workers across the country are facing right now. Uncertainty, canceled plans, mounting bills, credit card interest. These effects are real. Roughly about 900,000 federal employees are furloughed currently. Another 700,000 are working without pay. So next time you go through the TSA line, be a little nicer than that, right? And as an example, the IRS alone has about 34,000 staff that are furloughed. And I realize the IRS is a nice little punching bag that we like to make jokes about, but that's really cutting off necessary tax help and also slowing down the refunds that people need and depend on here. So as both political parties are playing a chess game that's stuck in this stalemate, the pawns are the ones that are suffering as people are having to skip their utility payments, payroll for small vendors might be being delayed, and particularly families with both parents working for the federal government, they're worried about putting food on the table tonight.
Absolutely. And Alan, let me ask you this. What does this all mean for the overall economy? More specifically, what does this mean for everyone who's watching us right now?
On a macro level, economists are estimating this could cost between $7 to $15 billion per week in lost productivity. That's on top of an already escalating budget deficit that we have. Now, of course, closings of museums like the Smithsonian and not being able to use the restroom at your favorite national park, this might cause some inconvenience for travelers, but there's critical yet often invisible services that are going to be affected here. Like things like veterans claims, court operations, legal services, and environmental food and safety inspections. These are all things that we take for granted that could be affected by this shutdown.
And you know, this isn't the first shutdown that we've seen. Of course, we've had shutdowns before. But Alan, why does this one feel different?
This one feels different because it feels like it may not just be a pause, but actually a potential reset or overhaul of the entire system here, right? Permanent layoffs are on the table for the first time in a while, and the administration has openly challenged the idea of automatic back pay that's been kind of a given in prior shutdowns. So now, if you're an employee, you're not just worried about missing a paycheck, you're wondering, will I ever get that back? And that makes it really difficult to plan for the future here. In particular, a long-term concern would be most people take lower salaries to work in government in exchange for security and a pension plan. And if those things are no longer guaranteed, we might see an exodus of talent from the government that we may not be able to ever get back.
Now, a lot of people are following the news. They're hearing everything that we're saying right now. But financially speaking, since you are the expert, what is your advice to those as we're kind of monitoring what's going on?
First of all, I would say, even if you don't work for the government, this can really happen to anyone, right? It's not just federal employees. Your company can shut down or have layoffs unannounced at any time. So in times like these, it's make certain that we need to make sure we triage our cash flow. We need to prioritize our mortgage, our rent, food, utilities, and we need to work on deferring and negotiating everything else that we can. Second of all, protect your credit in times like these. Don't let late bills spiral out of control and cause damage. Don't allow awful interest payments to come in. Ask for forbearance and make certain to communicate with your creditors, your mortgage lenders, and your landlords to work with them on this. Third of all, expect ripple effects throughout the economy. Even if you don't work directly for the government, maybe it's contractors that working for federal agencies may see canceled contracts. Maybe it's lenders that may tighten, grants that get paused. The shockwaves here can go really wide. But most importantly, use this as a reminder that we have to have a backup plan to our backup plan. And it's essential to have those emergency reserves for times like these.
All great advice. Alan Franks, author of Empowered Money. Alan, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Faith.